Krishna, all the students of SCB Medical College, I welcome you to this auspicious transcendental occasion organized in the transcendental home of Dr. Madhusmita Madam, in presence of His Grace, my Prabhu, Gunanu Prabhu, and other Vaishnavas. It's undoubtedly a glorious occasion. It's rarest opportunity to engross ourselves in the total program of the Lord. This is not the program of any personality or any human being or any material identity. This is a program which is organized for the satisfaction, for the pleasing of the supreme controller of all universes. So it's definitely outstanding. Am I correct? Am I correct? So I welcome all this transcendental program. Our attention had been captivated by the transcendental vibration that what we are just hearing. This is definitely transcendental vibration. We receive knowledge in 4 different sources. There are 4 different methodologies by which we acquire knowledge. One is direct perception. By engaging our senses, we are acquiring knowledge. Am I correct? By senses, by utilizing our eyes through the books, we are acquiring knowledge through the books. By hearing certain sounds, we are also receiving knowledge. By perception through our skins, we are receiving knowledge. By tongue, we are testing in the laboratory. Chemical examinations are being conducted by virtue of tongue tests. Am I correct? And by smell, we are also receiving knowledge. So this knowledge is called direct knowledge, but this is imperfect because our senses are limited. We cannot hear a sound below 20 Hz and more than 20 kilohertz. We cannot see things which are away from the vision of our eyes. So because we are limited, we cannot receive direct knowledge. Also, we receive knowledge by inferences. We are going to a marriage in search of water, becoming frustrated. In fact, there is no water. That is because of the refraction of light. But we are captivated, we are enchanted by the fact that there might be water. In fact, there is no water. Again, becoming frustrated, agitated, coming back. Am I correct? So that's inferences. By inferences, we are also not able to receive proper absolute knowledge. Then from history, from traditions, we are receiving some knowledge, but that's also pictorial. That will not give us conclusive understanding. Right? So, but in what way we can achieve absolute knowledge? That's a very, very important and fundamental question. In what way it is possible to acquire conclusive absolute knowledge? That is through sound. Shabda Brahma, sound. Sound is not our creation in this material world. We are not creating sound. Sound is flowing from ethereal medium. That has a nexus, direct nexus to the spiritual world. What we have not so far seen. It is flowing from that. When according to Vedic cosmology, our cosmos was created upon the evidence of that sound. Sound is very emphatic. Sound is highly certified. And sound gives us conclusive knowledge. So, through sound we are receiving knowledge. And we will now try to understand then what is the basic purpose of life. These are the ways by which you can receive knowledge. Now my question to you all is that, what is the purpose of life? If any 1, 2 or 3 honorable devotees, they will speak what that will magnify our intensity so that we can understand that you have rapt attention towards hearing. So, what is the purpose of life? That I will have discussed. Okay, what is your modern conception and what is your and which conception we should accept. So, what is the purpose of life? Can mom you speak? What is the purpose of? That will better if you share your own experiences. You will share. That we will because we will interact. We will discuss. Right? After this session is over, we will discuss and we will understand which will override what. What is the real purpose of life? Then will be the answer.
Peaceful life. Peace.
Oh, purpose of life is to achieve peace. Very good, excellent. What's yes, madam? You sir.
To be good in whatever I do.
To be good in?
Whatever I do.
Okay, to be good.
Without harming anyone.
Okay. It's very good. It's outstanding. Yes, ma'am, yours?
Sir.
Who?
Sir.
Who?
Sir.
Sir. Whom?
Mankind.
Mankind. Okay, it's astounding. Fantastic. Then, Prabhuji?
To find the real knowledge ଜାଣିବା ଇଏର ମାନେ ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ଏକ୍ସପ୍ଲେନ୍ କରି ହେବନି ମାନେ ଆମେ ସାଇଣ୍ଟିଫିକ ମାନେ ସେଇ ନଲେଜ ଗେନ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁ
Unexplicable knowledge that it can't be explained, undescribable knowledge, unforeseen knowledge. It sounds fantastic, excellent. Yours, Prabhuji?
समर्पण
Samarpana upon whom?
भगवान का समर्पण
Oh, it's something extraordinary. Yes, fantastic. So, yes. Okay, so far we have understood that what I have understood, assimilating all those conceptions, what I have understood, to be a doctor, to be a good human being, to be a servitor of the mankind in general, to be a lawyer, to be even a minister, right? To be president, these are all the aspirations. And we are, every time we are trying to secure by rendering relentless efforts throughout life. So, these are all purposes of life. In fact, these are the purposes of life. Because these are not at all, no. Why? These are all bodily necessities. We are, in fact, not these bodies. There are two constituents. There is a matter and then another one is spirit. There are two fundamental realities in nature. We are revolving around matter, defining matter, getting into deeper insights, studying matter well, in a very comprehensive and elaborate way. So we are revolving around matter. Matter is the central theme of our life. And in material pursuits, we are searching for justifying ourselves by becoming so that I can enjoy, so that I will be opulent, so that I can establish my dignity in the society, to override and to predominate myself over the entire external manifestation. It is all about what we really aspire for. But these are all aspirations for the bodies, for the satisfaction of the bodies. But we are not bodies. Then another confusion arises. So who we are? And what are the real necessities of life? What are the real objectives of life? So the objective of life, because our life is, we are souls. If we will say that our life is this body, these are the objectives, it's fine. These are the ambition of life. But if you will say that no, I am not this body, so what will be the objective of life? What is the Vedic evidence? Let us analyze. These are general conception. What Vedas, scriptures, those are upon the background of sound vibration. Those stand upon sound vibrations, that's absolute knowledge. That is beyond all conflicts and controversies. That knowledge flows from the spiritual world, about which we do not have any information. But what our scientists say is not complete and absolute, because they are also limited. What they say, we are accepting to be true, but incorrect. It's not true. Yeah, am I correct? Darwin is still in confusion. He was attacked by Stan Miller in Britain City. Your theory of evolution is completely erroneous and erratic. Do you agree with me? He said yes. Because evolution does not give us complete knowledge. Then what happened to evolution? Whether it is eternal, it must be continuous, then it was stopped. And there are several monkeys of Homo sapiens. The conception itself is ambiguous. It is yet to be discovered. There are many debates, seminars of different scientists. There is no conclusion. Because the theory itself is ambiguous. It is incongruous. It does not give us an absolute definition. It's alright, okay. So what Vedas say about purpose of life and the ambition of life? Bhagavad Gita is a Vedic wisdom that is beyond time, place and circumstances. That is an invaluable precious gem. Invaluable gem of our continent. We are offering it to other foreign countries. We are becoming proud of ourselves. Our Narendra Modi is becoming very proud of this opulence, for which he is distributing to all advanced countries, and they are becoming happy. So Bhagavad Gita is Lord's direct instructions. Lord's direct instructions are encapsulated within the golden words of Bhagavad Gita. So whenever Krishna is becoming surprised, Arjuna is becoming surprised, he is becoming flabbergasted, he is becoming agitated, frustrated in his mind, he is losing his composure, etc. He is asking Lord Krishna. He is saying that I am my Lord, I do not decide what to do. Shishyataham sadhimam tam prapanam. I am now surrendering unto you. Yat sat nischintam gruhitat me. You please tell me the purpose of life. You please tell me what is best for me. That is purpose of life. So Lord Krishna answered in the 18th chapter, 66th verse. This is the question by Arjuna in 2.7. 2.7 verse, second chapter, verse number 7. What is the purpose of life? What is the best for me? That is absolute. What is absolute for me? What is the purpose of life? Krishna is answering in 18.66. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhya mokshaiswami masucha. Arjuna, because you are my best friend, you are my disciple, you are surrendering upon me. That's why I am sharing you this confidential information. But the secret of life, but the purpose of life, you exclusively surrender upon me. Because I am eternal, I am absolute. If you will surrender upon me, you will be perfect. Because I am perfect. If one surrenders upon a perfect, he becomes perfect. That is natural, common understanding. So, Krishna is sharing with Arjuna what is the purpose of life. Because surrender upon me is the purpose of life. Next, another Vedic wisdom, thereafter higher degree of Vedic wisdom, that is Bhagavatam. That is being spoken by Sutta Goswami to sages in Naimisharanya on the bank of Ganges. There was a seminar like this, but this is not number there. There were 88,000 sages headed by the king sage Shaunak. Shaunak is asking 6 questions to Sutta Goswami, because Sutta Goswami is perfect. He is a liberated soul. He is in the disciplic succession. He carries informations. He was highly energetic. He was very potential. His potence was somewhat different, because he had perfected himself by taking shelter under the lotus feet of the supreme personality of Godhead. So he is presenting. He is speaking to 80,000 sages headed by Shainag. There are 6 questions. Shreyam, what is the absolute good of human life? Right? Shreyam, what is the absolute good? Next question is Saram, what is the essence of all Vedic literatures? Then Jatah, what is the reason behind the birth of Lord, his incarnation? Then Lilaya, what are the pastimes? Janma Karma, what is the birth and his activities? Lord is also performing certain activities for our benefit. It's not Lord's benefit itself. Lord is offering everything for our purposes. Then Lilaya pastimes, Avatara, what are different multi-incarnations, and Sharanam, surrender. These 6 questions entirely comprises the Vedic wisdom Bhagavatam. But the first question is very, very fundamental and important. What is the purpose of life? What is the best? What is the absolute good for human race? So what is the answer? What is the answer given by Sutta Goswami? What is the answer? 1.2.6 Bhagavatam. Savai Pungsha Parodharma Yato Bhakti Adhokhyaje. Savai Pungsha Parodharma Yato Bhakti Adhokhyaje. Ahetuki Apratihata Yayatma Suprasidati. The answer is that Savai Pungsha, our Pungsha means Purusha, all of us. Savai Pungsha Parodharma. What are the religious principles we are practicing in our life? We are becoming doctor, we are serving others, we are treating the patients, we are becoming engineers, we are constructing buildings, we are constructing, developing roads, etc. Many affairs. Lawyers, they are also profession, the legal profession, judges, they are also adjudicating disputes. There are different professions, we are profession. But of all these professions, of all these principles, which one is the supreme, which is the best? Savai Pungsha Parodharma Yatto Bhakti Adhokhya. This devotional service. This devotional service upon Adhokhyaje, who is beyond our material conception, our material understanding. We cannot experiment the Lord in the laboratory. It's impossible. This is all about matter. Spirit cannot be experimented. That have been well established. That's a different reality of nature that can be experimented. So the devotional service, that means that what we were, it was going on just before, the vibration of the transcendental sound of Lord. Through that sound, we are interacting with the Lord. That is one of the limbs of the devotional service. Right? Savai Pungsha Parodharma Yato Bhakti Adhokhyaje. Devotional service. Devotional service is a method by which we can establish our undivided and unalloyed connection to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One of such limbs is sound vibration. By chanting the holy name of the Lord. There are 9 different fundamental limbs and other concomitant factors, attenuating factors surrounding these basic principles, okay, that is called bhakti. So devotional service. What is the answer given by Sutta Goswami to the sages headed by Shainag? What is the answer? Purpose of life is bhakti. What I am saying? Are you all hearing? Am I audible clearly? So what is the purpose of life? Vocational service is the purpose of life. Whatever we may do in this world, that's fine. But if someone is not practicing bhakti, his life is incomplete. Because in this ephemeral world, everything is temporary and everything is destructible. No one can protect anything. Many doctors, they, during the corona pandemic, they are very, very fantastic, hyper caliber, talented doctors who could not control themselves. Many engineers died, many judges died in the last corona pandemic. So the nature is so cruel Because it's the arrangement of the Lord, it's not our energy. That's the energy of the Lord, so no one can escape, no one can man from the jurisdiction of this nature. Because that is the energy of the Lord. Lord is powerful. So you should easily understand that his energy is definitely powerful. That was the answer given by Sutta Goswami to the 88,000 sages headed by Shaina. What is the conclusion? What is the purpose of life? What is the purpose of life? Bhakti, devotional service. Devotional service is the purpose of life. Then another higher Vedic literature, that is Chaitanya Charitamrita. There, Sanatana Goswami, who was the Prime Minister of a kingdom, Nawab Hussain was the king in West Bengal. He was the Prime Minister of that kingdom. Prime Minister is a small post, small designation. What you are saying? Prime Minister post is small? Small. Prime Minister. He was Sanatana Goswami. He was also born in a Brahmin family. And he was highly opulent. Despite he was very beautiful also. And by the way, he was the Prime Minister. He had a question. What is the purpose of life? What to ask people? Now we are asking that question, but he had inquired about that. Answer that question, what is the purpose of life? So he approached Lord, the Supreme Personality Godhead, in another form. Lord can manifest in any form. Is there any doubt? His energy is inconceivable. His energy is unquantified, unlimited. We cannot quantify in terms of certain calculations. His energy is inconceivable. So he, in Lord Chaitanya, none different from Krishna, he approached him, right? Because with the authority from him, you will get the best answer. So he approached him. What he approached him? Ke nami, ke namaya, jare tapatraya, iha nahi jani, kamana hita haya. My Lord, I do not know who am I. So far, I have understood myself at this body, Sanatana. In fact, who am I? And why I am suffering? Despite I am a Prime Minister of a particular continent, of a kingdom, still why I am suffering? I am materially so much opulent, I have so much dignity, reputation, still I am suffering. If there is any answer, solution, please give me. So what is the purpose of life? Indirectly ask about what is the purpose. What I have to do? What I have not done, so that I am suffering. So let me gain the knowledge, what I have to do, so that I will be happy. Purpose of life. So now, Lord Chaitanya is answering. What is the answer? What is the purpose of life? Lord Chaitanya is giving. Jiber Swarupaya Krishnera Nitya Das. Krishnera Tatastha Shakti Veda Veda Prakash. See, Lord Chaitanya is answering. Purpose of life is being answered by the Lord Himself. Right? Krishna Jibera Swarupa Hai. Our constitutional position is that we are the servitors, servants of Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. He is the Lord. Krishna. Krishna means cultivation, now means pleasure. If we will cultivate Krishna, we will derive pleasure. If we will cultivate anything else, we cannot derive pleasure. Whatever delicious it may be, whatever tasty it may be, it cannot be pleasurable like cultivating Krishna. So, Lord Chaitanya is answering to Sanatana, yes, your constitutional position is to serve me. You are a servant. Here in the material world, we are becoming servants of everyone, but we are not accepting the servant of Lord. This is unfortunate for the whole civilization. We are servant of everyone. Whenever I am joining government service, I am a servant of the state. I have many authorities above me. I am a servant of the state. I am servant of the society. I am servant of my family members. I am servant of everyone. But I am never saying that I am servant of the Supreme Lord, who is the controller of millions of universes. So unfortunate. Our civilization is so miserable, so condemnable. We can easily comprehend, we can easily understand. Okay? That was the advice, that was the instruction of Lord Chaitanya to Sanatana Goswami. The mind your Sanatana, purpose of life is to be a servant, is to be a servitor of me. He is not identifying himself as Lord, he is saying Krishna. He himself is Krishna, but he is suppressing the truth to amplify our inquiries, our anxieties. Because in that process, love will be intensified, love will be precipitated, love will be gravitated. That's the very purpose of the Lord, of his transaction with his devotees. Okay, anyway, in sum and substance, he is saying, what is the purpose of life? What is the purpose of life? What is the purpose of life? Firstly, it had been answered by Sutta Goswami to the Shainak sage. Now, और किसने saying? Chaitanya saying? Jiva Swarup hai Krishna Nitya Das, means we have to be servant of Krishna. If someone will be servant of Krishna, he conquers all universes. If someone becomes a servant of government, what he conquers? It's just a matter. But that we are not expressed. That is our constitutional position. We should orbit around that. That is our original orbit. If we deviate or disrupt from that orbit, yes, that's our bad fortune, and definitely we suffer. The cause of suffering is because of our unconstitutional positions. So we have to constitutionally situate so that we can release pleasure, we can be happy, we can be peaceful. We are hankering and hovering after happiness, but we are suffering. We are not finding the reason as to why we are suffering. It's miraculous and mysterious. So that was the answer given by Lord Chaitanya to Sanatan, the ex-Prime Minister of the kingdom in West Bengal. He was not an ordinary personality like us. What our Srila Prabhupada explains about purpose of life. Srila Prabhupada is SC Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The ISKCON movement was founded. He is the founder Acharya of ISKCON. He created a spiritual world in this miserable material existence. To give happiness to others, because that is the characteristic of a sadhu. Whom we should call a saint or sadhu? A sadhu is a personality who distributes unlimited happiness to the whole world. Who can be sadhu more than him? We are campaigning, we are shouting in the whole world. There are many sadhus, bogo sadhus. Are they sadhus? You can better understand. Who is a sadhu? Sadhu is distributing unlimited, unquantified happiness to the millions of this continent. He is Srila Prabhupada. Right? What he said the purpose of life to his devotees and disciples. Go back home, back to Godhead. The purpose of life is to chant, engage in the transcendental, sublime, devotional service of the Lord, and then go back home, back to Godhead. Don't stay here. Being a doctor, you will not stay here for more than how many years? 100, maximum 100 years. You cannot stay here for more than that. If that would have been there, yes, it's fine. But it's not possible. It's not under our control. It is controlled by somebody else. He is none else than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is calling, inviting. Okay, please come to my world. Where is your original abode? We have been disrupted. We have been deputed to this pigeon house here in this material world. This is compared to the pigeon house. Srila Prabhupada is comparing, because every time here is unhappiness. Right? Despite all our best endeavors, are we becoming happy? And why the reason? We are trying hard, we are working throughout, day and night. Every time we are working, we are studying 18 hours a day, and then qualifying MBBS exam, NEET examination, which is a very toughest examination of the state. The MBBS NEET examination, they were qualified. Can we measure their intelligence? How intelligent they are? They are becoming successful doctors, physicians, who are teaching the whole society, but unfortunately we are not becoming happy. Please ask all the doctors in our community, how many of them can say that they are happy? Now, why not? Now, what is the reason behind that? We are working so hard, but we are not becoming happy. Srila Prabhupada, therefore, he postulated, he formulated this spiritual world in this miserable planet. That is called International Society for Krishna Consciousness. In the abbreviated name, ISKCON. So this is, he imported a spiritual planet to this miserable existence. That is ISKCON. He formulated by crystallizing all the Vedic literatures. So crystallizing and churning all the Vedic literatures, he formulated this ISKCON and designed a syllabus for all of us, that is devotional service. So devotional service, there are 9 limbs: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. There are 9 limbs, of which this chanting, the glorification of the Lord, is very significant, because that takes the prime position, foremost position. Shravanam, because we all are hearing. We all are hearing. I was initially hearing from Prabhuji. He developed me how to practice devotional service. So today, I am, because of His mercy, I am able to speak to all. Because they have cultivated devotional service. So they who have cultivated devotional service, we should approach them. We should take shelter under the lotus feet, so that we can understand this reality. So Srila Prabhupada advocated that yes, go back home, back to God later, like chanting holy name. And Dr. T.D. Singh, Bhakti Swarup Damodar Swami Maharaj, he was a scientist in Irvine University, California. He was a scientist, physical organic chemistry. He was an international scientist. What was his message? He accepted Srila Prabhupada. He was mesmerized, he was magnetized by the slogan, the message of Srila Prabhupada. Becoming such an exalted scientist, he was captivated by the transcendental vibration of Srila Prabhupada. He had a statement: if you are sincere and very serious about understanding the meaning of life, the purpose of life, then the Lord will arrange to send someone so that you can get that knowledge. So today it's Lord's arrangement. Today it's Lord's arrangement. Prabhuji, staying in Burla ISKCON temple, he just made himself available to all of us, right? To give us, to disseminate this very valuable transcendental knowledge for the benefit of ourselves. If we will transcendentally enrich our life into successful, that is the very purpose of life. And Gunana Prabhu is a recommended singer, not only here in Cuttack but in the state of Orissa. Internationally he is popular, and Radha Govinda Goswami Maharaj had recommended him that he is a singer. So he can sing and satisfy the 15% of God. And Dr. Madhusmita Madam, she is a devotee. She is organizing these programs to give you that knowledge which is not known to us, that unforeseen knowledge by which we can be successful. We can ameliorate our natural existence. We can transcend. We can seize you can see the material arrays, material closures, material ambience, and we can transcend and we will go to highest height of life. That is the purpose of life. To be Krishna consciousness, in my words, to be Krishna conscious is the purpose of life. What is the purpose of life? What is the purpose of life? To be Krishna conscious. To be Krishna conscious is the purpose of life. What is the purpose of life? Do you agree with me or not? If you do not agree, you argue. Give your argument. So I will explain it. Right? After crystallizing all this Vedic wisdom and the statements of all these transcendental personalities, what is the conclusion? What is the purpose of life? To be Krishna conscious is the purpose. Hare Krishna. Thank you.